Oh, hi, sorry. You caught me taking a break from enjoying the beautiful world of LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, as well as working on my new video about Batman Beyond, which also talks over LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight just a little bit. I'm going to give you a snippet right now. But anyways, that's not actually what we're here to talk about today, right? What we're here to talk about today is kind of just the state of the video game industry as a whole and some of the news that's came out as of late in regards to the stuff going on within the video game industry. Because, you know, a lot of what I talk about in my videos is kind of this, you know, situation where everything sucks and everything used to be better before, and usually I try and kind of give it a positive spin on it, but a lot of the time it's kind of just commenting on the negative things going on right now and at least using the good stuff that happened in the past as a reference point to how they could change things, tweak them, and be better today comparatively, right? But essentially what I'm here to do is kind of flip that on its head. Right? Because, you know, things have actually been pretty freaking good lately. Am I right, guys? Like, hey, come on now. Like for a second there, I was like, oh, what is this feeling I'm having about being excited for the future of video games for a second here? And that's kind of how the last couple weeks has been. Now, of course, you know, I planned on making this video just about that. And in the time since, you know, terrible stuff has happened, right? But it was cool for a second. So essentially what I'm going to do in this video is kind of just run down some of the news that's happened lately, the good stuff that has been happening to celebrate that you probably know about, and maybe if you don't know about, you can learn about here. And then, of course, touch on the negative stuff that has happened after that massive influx of really good news. So, dude, let's just get into it. My name's Praythog. Please like and subscribe if you like the stuff. I make more in-depth videos most of the time, like I showed you just a second ago, but this is kind of just more chill stuff where I talk about what's going on just right now within pop culture stuff, dude. That's a great description, right? Anyways, wait, is shit actually good? All right. That's what we're here to talk about today, because it does feel like stuff in certain ways has gotten better, right? As compared to how we have been just within the last year or so, I'd say. So what specifically has gotten better, right? So we're going to dive into that by looking at the good, the bad, and then the ugly. Okay, there's a lot of good, a decent amount of bad, and not much ugly, but there is some ugly, of course, because it's modern day gaming, so something has to be so terrible we can't see straight, right? Anyways, the good. Let's start with Xbox. Dude, let's start with Xbox, right? Because they've been killing it for the most part. Not entirely, but we'll get to that later. The good with Xbox has been specifically, and I know a lot of people, there's mixed opinions on this, but I think overall it's a good thing. Halo campaign evolved. There are problems with it, which we'll talk about later. But I think overall, this is a good thing. And it's just kind of, once again, harkening back to the old stuff that has been done before that, you know, we should be taking inspiration from in order to improve the current state of where we're at within video games right now. So let's just take a gander, right? Just give me a sec, because I'm going to make sure this doesn't blow your eardrums out. But yeah, we're just looking at Halo Campaign Evolved. Nice name, right? But yeah, this is supposed to come out July 28th. And it's been a while since we've got Halo anything. Halo Infinite was there, and I do think Halo Infinite is a better gameplay experience than it gets credit for. I'm not going to say game, because there's a lot wrong with the game itself, but the gameplay of Halo Infinite was really smooth and solid. Now, granted, you give the game like however many years it's been since it came out now, the time to improve and stuff, then like, yeah, hopefully it'd be pretty polished by now. But I'm glad to see that they're kind of working on, you know, making something new, but rooting it in their past and what Halo actually is. Because, you know, I didn't really grow up playing Halo. I grew up playing Call of Duty because I had a PlayStation most of the time, and then I got a 360 and played Reach, but I didn't really go back and play a lot of the old Halo games because I was so locked in Call of Duty. You got to remember that was like the golden age, because Reach and Black Ops 1 came out at pretty much the same time. And then after that, it was just like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, you know, and then into the future, there were some duds, but then there was like Black Ops 3. I think Infinite Warfare was actually pretty good. I enjoyed Advanced Warfare, even though I recognize it's not a great game. It still was a lot of fun to me as a kid, and it kind of really sparked a lot of my extreme passion for video games in general. That game, honestly, weird enough to say, but it kind of did. But yeah, dude, Halo CE to me looks great, and I know a lot of people are going to be pissed about some of the stuff that's not quite as accurate as it should be, but a lot of the things that people don't like and feel like should be more accurate are things that you can actually go change. And now, listen, I'm not saying that's a catch-all for everything, and that means everything that's going to be changed is just automatically okay because you can turn it off, because I understand that, you know, the balancing of this game is balanced around a certain method of playing that they expect from the most of the general population, right? So stuff with the you can get a skull to essentially make the magazine size of the original AR what it used to be, and because now I don't know what it is now, it's like 30 or something, but in the OG Halo CE it was 60, and you can put on a skull that makes it 60 instead of the 30 it is now, which is a good thing. But at the same time, I understand that how well is that going to be balanced with it having 60 bullets in there? Is it just going to shred through guys? I'm just going to have so much ammo I can't see straight, because in that case, that's not super fun. It's different from what it used to be in that regard. But we'll see, right? We got to get our hands on it and play it. From everything I've heard from people who've played it so far, it seems like most people do like it. But at the same time, we also got to take that with a grain of salt, because the people getting that early access are people that Microsoft trusts enough that they're not just going to absolutely dookie all over the game in front of the Lord and everyone, right? So take that with a grain of salt. But I will say, I think it looks good. I'm really excited for it. I know some people are kind of upset that it's not exclusive to Xbox, and I have a different opinion on that, which we'll get to here in a sec. So let's move on to the next thing, which still falls under Halo CE, which is the Collector's Edition. I love me a good Collector's Edition, bro. I do, and I think we don't get enough good Collector's Editions nowadays compared to, you know, the way it used to be. So let's just take a gander at this Collector's Edition, right? It comes with some, you know, digital stuff. You know what I mean? And that's cool. Like, you want that, of course. But really, the main kicker here is the Master Chief statue and a little Cortana microchip thing. I don't remember exactly what it's called. You'll have to forgive me, dude. All you extreme Halo fans out there, please forgive me, dude. I'm getting into it. I really do like it. I've played through pretty much all. Well, I played through all the Bungie games now, and I've loved them all. So please don't slam me for it, for not knowing the specific name for this thing right here. But just this whole thing looks great, right? A steelbook. I love me a good steelbook. I'm a big steelbook fan. Big steelbook guy right here. It comes with some skins for Master Chief, which is cool. I'm probably not going to use them. It's just a campaign. I don't really know why skins are that important. I like the box. The box looks great. Comes with all the collectibles. Really like that. Different base plates, posters and stuff. Of course, the statue of Master Chief just looks fantastic. And the only issue with this is that it seems as though it's been scalped to high hell. And it's being resold for an exorbitant price range above what it was initially being sold for, which is just very, very disappointing. People are kind of upset at Microsoft, and I get where that's coming from, but at the same time, as a person who's been through the trenches trying to get that PS5, that P5 when it came out, dog, I understand that with this stuff, it can be kind of difficult to limit this scalping, but you would hope they would be better at that by now, because I'm sure Xbox went through some of the same stuff that PlayStation did back in the day. But it is just disappointing that there's the cretin out there of this world that would do stuff like that and essentially prevent us from being able to enjoy things like this. And whenever we see stuff like that, you kind of think to yourself, oh, no wonder a lot of this stuff doesn't happen, because who knows for all this valuable stuff, it just gets scalped nowadays because there's just cretin on this planet that I don't want to go too far with my disdain for these people, but let's just say I could go much further. Anyways, it looks great. I love it. You have the skins for Master Chief, which is cool. I'm glad they exist. Make it more worth it to buy this, but at the same time, there was some stuff in their blog post where they said that, you know, in the prequel missions, Master Chief wears Mark IV armor, which is just so dope. The Mark IV armor is so dope. But they're saying, like, yeah, you can't wear that outside of those prequel missions. Which is like, why though? You're letting me dress up as a pink Master Chief. You're letting me dress up as a, you know, pretty much a Spartan, like an actual Spartan, not like a Halo Spartan. You're letting me dress up in the OG outfit, so why can't I pop in with the Mark IV whenever I want to, especially since it's already in the game for those prequel missions, so it really doesn't make sense to not be able to do that. I imagine they'll probably change that later because people don't like it, and it's got to be super easy to fix, and it's stupid that it's not in the game right now, so we'll see. But, yeah, moving on from that, more Xbox, great stuff. Gears of War looks awesome. Gears of War E-Day looks fantastic, man. And I was never a huge Gears of War guy growing up, you know, but I will admit that this looks pretty freaking dope, and I'm gonna have to get into, you know, the Gears of War stuff going on. Just the games, all the games before, because this looks fantastic, man. Look at that glass breaking. Don't you love it? Don't you love just, and then you time up the reload and you can jump on top of the stuff. It looks pretty freaking good, man. I'm excited for it. I have an Xbox. I have the Xbox Series S, so I'm not like super crazy, you know, like I'm not out here with the best hardware in the world, but I will be playing this and I will be enjoying it, right? But yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm very excited for it. I hope it's good, especially for the Gears of War fans, because it feels like they've been getting done dirty a lot, you know, just in recent years. And it also kind of jumps right into this next point where they're taking back their exclusivity, Xbox is, and they're trying to, you know, restake their claim on what it means to be Xbox instead of just being a company that makes video games and hardware sometimes, but we don't really care. Like, that's what it felt like for a long time, and now it seems like they're trying to be like, no, we are Xbox, bro. We are green, we are mean, we are lean. You know what I'm saying? And they're back in it. And this goes further showed by the fact that it seems as though Gears of War was supposed to be on PS5 as well, just like Halo CE. And, you know, pretty recently before the Xbox showcase, they pulled it from being an exclusive, which I think is a good thing. I think you need exclusives in order to compete in the console space. You know, I think that's just kind of the way it is, and it's cool. And they also seemingly pulled the trailer for Halo Campaign Evolved from the PlayStation State of Play because it was originally supposed to be revealed there. And then it seems like Asha Sharma said, no, you're not showing it. We're going to show it. This is our property. It's still being sold on PlayStation, but, you know, they didn't allow PlayStation to use it as promotional material at their press conference, which I think is smart because it's like, hey, we're letting you guys be in on the fun with Master Chief and stuff, but this is still ours. This is still Xbox's. We're just allowing you guys to play it now. And I see a lot of people, because of the Gears of War thing, being like, oh my gosh, you got to pull Halo Campaign Evolved back to Xbox exclusive. This is how it has to be, and we're going to be pissed if that doesn't happen. And I'm like, I get the sentiment. Like I said, you need console exclusives in order to, you know, be competing in the console space, I believe. Hopefully that wasn't bothering anybody. But no, you need these exclusives to be competing in the console space, and I think there's a place for it. But Halo, I think with some of the stuff we're going to look over later with the current financial situation at Xbox, I think what Asha Sharma is doing is very smart to make Halo one of those designated properties that is no longer going to be exclusive. And I say this because I get it, man. Halo is the Xbox game, but I think Halo is so popular that, and I said this with Call of Duty too at the time whenever Microsoft purchased it, but it's like this Halo is another one of those brand names that's so big that it might be, honestly, in today's day and age, kind of stupid to not try and cash in on that money that you could get from making it available on the PlayStation, because I'm going to buy it on PlayStation. Absolutely. And I know a lot of people are, and you can tell that with the way they're designing that game, they're designing it not just to be a faithful recreation of Halo Campaign Evolved or Combat Evolved, but to also be a jumping in point for a lot of people who never got to play Halo games because they mainly just had PlayStation, which I think is really smart, because I think Halo could be a huge IP. It already is, and it could be even bigger in the gaming space, especially with the fall of Call of Duty and how that has been. I think there is a opening in the FPS landscape for the new kind of king to take over, and I think that if they make good games, which hopefully they do, and Halo Campaign Evolved looks good, Halo could usurp Call of Duty for that new top FPS game, but it can't do that by just being on Xbox. And I think it's very smart to say, hey, this is our game, we're making it, we're allowing y'all to have it, but it is something that should be on both platforms, because it is that kind of a game. I really do think Halo is another monolith of the gaming industry. And as much as it sucks that it's not going to just be on Xbox anymore, I think it's a smart decision financially for that to happen. And hopefully that doesn't take away from the quality that it could be as well. And I don't think it will. Mainly because they haven't been doing even great with Halo recently, so it can't get that much worse. Knock on wood. But I hope they nail it, and I think it's a great idea to put it on PlayStation, just to increase the popularity of Halo as a brand. Because I saw one guy, I think it's Mint Blitz, he's a Halo guy, he says, I think that Halo being only on Xbox is better for Xbox, but Halo being on everything is better for Halo. And I think Xbox needs to concern itself with what's better for Halo, because I think that's more financially lucrative, than what's best for Xbox right now. So anyways, moving back into the exclusives market for Xbox, that's great. Dope ass green console, dude. I'm sure you've seen it. I want it. It's going to be $1,000. But I want it. But probably not going to get it. But I would love to, because it looks great. We need more of this within just technology as a whole. Just these things, this is great. It harkens back, but it's also just cool. Like, it's nostalgic, but it's also just cool, dude. There's a reason we're nostalgic for it, because it's cool. God, companies just don't seem to get that, dude. It pisses me off, but it's great. I want one. I won't be probably getting one because it's going to be so expensive. And so is all consoles, but we'll get into that in a sec. Other stuff, just the whole showcase turned out pretty good. The new Metro looks cool. New Fable, didn't see much about it, but for people who like Fable, I'm sure that's exciting. State of Decay, new Spyro, new Flight Simulator. New Persona 6 was also revealed, which I'm sure a lot of people are really excited for. Yeah, not a ton of crazy stuff. A new Crazy Taxi, though. Doom the Dark Ages expansion. Modern Warfare 4. Go like my edit that I made. I thought it was good. Anyways. Moving on to PlayStation. A lot of people have been hating on PlayStation lately, rightfully so in a lot of aspects, but also there is some good. And I think people are hating too much on certain things, and I think it's kind of dumb the way they're doing it. They aren't dumb. I understand where they're coming from, but I think the points they're making are dumb. Let's just launch into the top dogs that I'm sure you've heard about. Wolverine. Marvel's Wolverine. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this game, and I know a lot of people are like, it's just, Spider-Man. It's just going to be just like Spider-Man. I think that, to me, I've already seen enough to where it looks different enough in that it's more of like a hack and slash kind of deal, and I like that it's so violent. Spider-Man 2 already leaned kind of more violent in some areas, so I'm very glad to see kind of Wolverine is kind of further pushing it, which I was really hoping they would. I was hoping they wouldn't pull their punches on how violent a Wolverine game should be, and it looks like they're not. It really looks great. Like, look at this, dude. I love it. I love that, man. And just tearing him up, dude. Yeah! Put some claws in his face for me. Thank you. It looks great, man. It looks great. And time will tell how, similar or dissimilar it is from the Spider-Man games, but I think just because it looks similar, a lot of people are getting turned off by it. And I say, guys, just enjoy this. We complain that there's no new games so much. And I'm not saying you're not allowed to be critical, but I'm saying that this looks kind of cool. And if you like Spider-Man, what's necessarily the problem with it being a little bit similar? Now, if it's very derivative and doesn't experiment or innovate at all, then that's a huge problem. But to me, it already looks like it's doing some unique things that are going to be a lot of fun. And I'm very excited for it. Now, the story, I don't know how I'm feeling about that so far. We'll see how that turns out. I hope it's good. But I don't know much about it. I'm down, man. I'm down to play as Wolverine and tear some boys up. The extra skins that come with it. Dude, I'm down. Come on, guys. What are we hating on? I mean, I get being, taking everything with a grain of salt, but what are we hating on, guys? This looks great. Now, I'll eat crow if it's bad, but I think it looks great. I'm very excited for it. And I like Spider-Man, so that helps. I like Spider-Man 2. The story could have been better in some areas, but I think it was a great sequel to a great game. The story was not quite as good as the first game, but it was still good. And then that's, some of the opinions I have about how Spider-Man 2 was received kind of linked to this next point, which is the new God of War, Lao Fei. I think that's how you say it. Which is another thing that I know a lot of people are hating on. Not me, though. I think that the hate that this game is getting is kind of ridiculous, if I'm being frank. And I get that it's, popular to kind of hate on stuff. And I'm not, once again, saying don't be critical. But I am saying don't be overly negative either. People are acting like it's just the same as God of War. It looks way more fast-paced than God of War. And obviously it's going to be kind of similar. It's in the same series, dude. And that's what people say about God of War Ragnarok. They're like, I couldn't play it. It's like, this is just the same thing we got. Dude, I got bad news for you, bro. If you liked Halo 2, you're going to hate Halo 3 then. That's what I don't understand. People are like, it's just the same. I couldn't really play it. It's just the same, but a little bit different. It's like, so you probably hated Halo 3 when it came out too. You bozo. I don't like that line of thinking. Well, you're going into a game that's a sequel to another game, and you're expecting it to be just completely different? That would be asinine. That would be asinine, bro. This looks good. Pardon me if I get a little fired up, but this looks cool, man. Now the cube. I'm not a fan of the cube. I don't like the cube. I like Jack Quaid, and he plays the cube, so maybe he'll win me over. But I think the cube is stupid. The cube, and I understand why people are hating on that. Like, a cube? Like they said, we know you guys get a little annoyed by trays sometimes. So instead, we're going to do a little, shiny cube, Jello cube sidekick this time. Is that okay? Come on. With the cube. The sword, I can take a talking sword, fine. There might be some cool stuff that can happen with it, but I'm not down for the cube, dude. The cube looks weird to me. I don't like it. But the gameplay looks great. It looks like God of War, but faster. And it's kind of more even akin a little bit to the older God of War games in that way, where it's like fast. There is somewhat of a, emphasis on verticality with her being able to jump and do things in the air that you weren't able to do in, the other God of War games. I'm excited to get to play as her. I think she could be a really cool character. We'll see how they handle her. But, I'm of the opinion, I know they say they're making more Kratos games, but I'm just worried because it's like, what story is left to tell for Kratos? If you played those games and you played the Valhalla DLC, it's like his character is so well fleshed out and has had such a great arc of self-discovery and self-improvement. I don't know what's left to, do with his character. So I am of the opinion I'm down for more either prequels, offshoot stories, stuff like that. Not necessarily an Atreus game. Sorry, Atreus, unless they do something like big time jump. But I think it looks good. I think people are hating on it too much because they want it to be a completely different game than what the God of War games have been. And I think there's room to innovate within the system that they have. And I think people aren't really giving them the chance to do that because they're like, oh, it's just the same as, the other game. And it's like, dude, it's called a sequel, bro. It's called a sequel. It's going to be kind of the same.
Oh.
And I don't like when people do that. You must have hated, the new Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. You must have hated Halo 3. I don't like that. I understand that, you want some innovation. You must have hated, Dark Souls 3. You must have hated, and I know this might be pissing a lot of people off what I'm saying right now, but I'm just saying I think that people aren't giving much leeway to the fact that these games are sequels now. And it's like when we do get a good game, people just overlook it because it's similar to the last game and then want to say, oh, there's no new good games right now. And it's like, well, there are some. You just didn't give it a chance and play it because you're like, it's just the same as the last game. No, it's not, bro. And maybe these people just don't care for story in video games too, because Ragnarok's story was pretty good. A lot of PlayStation exclusive games have dropped the ball in the storyline area recently, but I will say that I think God of War Ragnarok is the exception to that rule. Anyways, another great game a lot of people are forgetting about coming out for PlayStation, talking about there's no good exclusives or there's no exclusives coming out. Phantom Blade Zero. I've been looking forward to this game for a while. It looks awesome. Just the gameplay itself just looks great to me. It looks so much fun. It looks like Sekiro and kind of God of War mixed together to me. I love it. Cannot wait for it to come out. The original trailer that came out whenever they revealed it was definitely like they staged the hell out of that trailer. It looked too good to be true. And with some of the gameplay, it's kind of turned down a little bit. Looks more realistic, but it still looks great. And I'm looking forward to it a lot. And I think a lot of people are forgetting about it. And it's just not getting that attention because it does look just objectively really good. And so there's nothing that's going to grab attention by talking about it, really, because there's nothing controversial about it. It just looks awesome. So I'm super excited for Phantom Blade Zero. Cannot wait for that one to come out. And then, another good thing that's happening, Black Ops 1 and 2 ports. And we'll get to that here in a little bit because it's not all good. But I do think in general it's a good thing that PlayStation 5 and 4, to a lesser extent, are finally getting are finally getting Black Ops 1 and 2 on them, because the Xbox has had it forever. And the real kicker on this is just that, the new servers that are going to be have much less hackers on them. Hopefully, I would assume they would, but because I still play Black Ops 2, 1, and even the older Call of Duties on my 360 and on my Xbox, and I'm still able to have some fun, but it's definitely like every other match or every other match you run into just a blatant cheater that ruins the experience. So we are in dire need of some sort of new server, and I think they said there are rumors that they will also be making new servers for the next-gen Xboxes as well. Instead of just a port, it would just be, hey, here's new servers that are only accessible via new-gen Xbox technology, in the same way that the servers for the PS3 Black Ops 2 and the servers for the PS5 Black Ops 2 are going to be different. And so hopefully that'll limit cheaters, and just the influx of people when those do release is going to be pretty cool, because it's just going to be everybody online playing Black Ops 2 and 1, you know, just like the old days, especially at a time where nobody's really playing Black Ops 7. The tweet announcing these ports got more likes than the tweet announcing Modern Warfare 4. So that's another thing that kind of points to the fact that I think it's going to be a lot of fun, that there'll be a lot of people on this, because I think people that aren't interested in Call of Duty anymore, or people that even still are all going to be interested in this. And it is a smart move by Activision. Please don't mess it up, or I'm going to come to the studio and do reprehensible things. Anyways, other stuff, just the whole kind of a state of play. They announced a lot of stuff. They're still doubling down on Marathon, which I get because it's a new game, but just say you're working on Destiny 3 already. I don't even like Destiny, but just freaking start working on it, okay? Tomb Raider Remaster looks cool. Until Dawn 2 looks cool. Obviously God of War and everything. Bancho the chef. Hopefully that's good. Control Resonant. Heard that that's good. Dune. Hope that that's good. A lot of cool stuff, man. A lot of cool stuff. Ill. That looks crazy, bro. That looks... If you haven't seen the trailer for it, it looks like so realistic and scary. I'm not playing that shit, bro. No way, bro. Anyways, yeah, but just a decent amount of good stuff announced. Onimusha, Phantom Blade, love it, love it, love it. So let's hope it's good. There's a lot of good stuff that people aren't talking about because they just want to hate on PlayStation. Rightfully so in some areas, but I think it's important to recognize the good and the bad, because that's what I wanted to make this video about, was just like, things have been better lately than how they have been. And that needs to be celebrated. And then unfortunately, before I got to make the video, bad stuff happened. So let's move on to that. Not yet. The good for Nintendo, they also had some stuff. It's just easy to fly under the radar because they're kind of doing their own thing. Switch Sports Resort. Love Wii Sports. I liked the first Switch Sports, even though I think it could have been better. I'm glad they're making a Switch Sports Resort. I think it's a good idea. I was a little disappointed in some of the game selection because a lot of it was just stuff we already had on Switch Sports 1. And but there is some stuff, like they're bringing back archery and table tennis and a lot of wakeboarding stuff, which hopefully is a lot of fun. It doesn't look that great to me, but I hope it's good. But yeah, thumb wrestling, hopefully that's fun. Boxing is huge, but I've been saying they needed to bring boxing back for a long time, and I'm glad they did, because I think it'll be even better with the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. So that's very, very exciting. And you know, I can't wait to play it. I'm not saying it's going to be the best game in the world. I think they could have done a lot of better things with it. And tennis, it's like, dude, we already have tennis. But I get it. They did that on the old, you know, Wii Sports Resort 2. Volleyball's back. Volleyball's so much fun. Happy to see it back. Bowling, same old, same old. I mean, yeah, it's like basketball. It looks cool. Basketball on Switch Sports was fun. I hope they make some improvements, because it was a little bit too easy at times, like with the 3-point contest, like you could just blow through it. So hopefully they improve it. Thumb wrestling, we'll see. I like that they're trying something new. Skateboarding, I like that they're utilizing that mouse functionality, because it hasn't really been utilized yet. I hope it's good. One of those that I don't think is going to be... That's kind of like bicycling in the Wii Sports Resort, where it's like, it's not bad, but nobody plays that shit for real, dog. But anyways, planes are back. That's good. It just kind of seems like a spiritual successor to jump rope. Spiritual successor to Wii Sports Resort, and just kind of... My only concern is it looks a little bit like a DLC for Switch Sports, and that's not worth the full price to me, but I do hope it's good, and I do see a lot of things about it that do look really good, and I'm excited for it. Ocarina of Time remake, hopefully it's good. They didn't really show much at all for it. It looks cool. Can't mess that up though. Cannot mess that up though, and I don't think they will. They kind of have Legend of Zelda down at this point. I'm just wondering if they're going to make it more like Breath of the Wild stuff, or if they're just going to try and, revamp the original systems within Ocarina of Time. Because one thing I've always said about Breath of the Wild is that it could really use a lock-on feature like the one literally invented in Ocarina of Time that they decided not to use in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom for no reason at all, when Souls games which use that lock-on system are more popular than ever, and for some reason they're like, yeah, but we don't want to use it even though we invented it for our game. So hopefully they bring that back at the very least, because that's the game that literally invented it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Duskblood, speaking of FromSoft games, looks very cool. Kind of looks weird for what they normally do, but it's FromSoft. Be as weird as you want. I'm down. I hope it's great. I don't have a Switch 2. Maybe I'll get one, but I'd rather get it at a discount because do not love Nintendo as a company, obviously. But it looks cool, man, and I hope it's really good. I'm sure the gameplay will be great. I hope that the story is wacky and wild as usual, and I'm happy that we're getting an extremely unique IP from FromSoft. I think they do some of their best work when they reach out and do something different besides just kind of the normal Dark Souls, Elden Ring stuff, even though I love those games. Sekiro's my favorite, and in terms of aesthetically, I think that Bloodborne might be the best aesthetically, So I like that they're doing something new and different. I think they do a lot of their best work when they reach out and do something different like that. New Xenoblade stuff, a lot of everything. I hate how they do that thing where they're like, oh yeah, well, here's the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade pack that you can buy. It's like, dude, excuse my French, but fuck off. Anyways, they had a lot of stuff. The only thing that sucks about Nintendo is, like, I'm sure a lot of people are excited for it, but I found myself watching and a lot of stuff was just not my thing. And I'll put some of that stuff up right now, but it's like I'm just watching and I'm like, ew. Like I'm sure somebody will enjoy that, but not for me. Let's get back to Master Chief, am I right? Or let's get back to GTA, baby. GTA 6 is real. It's coming out. You're about to be able to pre-order it. That's another piece of good news that's not necessarily related to any gaming company besides Rockstar, but boy, is that looking cool and great, honestly. It just looks like the true next evolution of video games is what it looks like. It looks insane. But with that, we're going to move on to the bad news, in that we still don't know the price for GTA 6. I'll just skip to that since we're just talking about GTA 6. That is something I'm very nervous about. And I think Rocksteady, or not Rocksteady, sorry, I'm making a Batman video. Rockstar could do the Lord's work and make it a $70 game, or at the most $80 for the base edition. That I think that would be necessary right now. But they and I'm not gonna buy it, dude, if it's $120. I am not, and I know a lot of people I know are, and I understand where that comes from because we've been waiting for this for so long. And I know they know that a lot of people would pay $120 for it. And I've been seeing a lot of people say that, but I'm like, dude, this is bigger than just wanting a game. You know what I'm saying? If it comes out for $120 and everybody still buys that shit, that is going to destroy the gaming industry. I seriously think it will. Because I think a lot of games are going to jack up their prices and they're not going to have that same appeal as GTA does, so nobody's going to buy it. And who's going to pay the price for that when nobody buys it? The devs, and they are going to be laid off at exorbitant rates. Even though they're already being laid off at exorbitant rates, it's going to get worse. So if it's $120, dude, I'm speaking with my wallet. I'm not buying that shit, bro. It's not worth, no video game to me is worth destroying the rest of the industry in order to play it. No way, bro. $120, we are screwed, bro. If it comes out for $120, everybody buys that shit, which I'm worried is gonna happen, bro, because I know people will buy it despite the crazy price. And if that happens, I just have to hope other gaming companies understand that they're not GTA 6 and they can't raise the prices. But I don't think they're going to jump to 120. But Nintendo already raised it to 80. Who's to say, other companies don't start jacking up their prices too for AAA games? And then we're just screwed, man. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. Bro. I really don't. I hope that they keep it at a regular price. But I'm beginning to wonder that they might not. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, prices are still nuts. Prices are still crazy, bro. Every console was raised their prices, and then the one kind of good thing was that the Xbox CEO was saying that she understands that people aren't going to be able to afford like thousands of dollars for the next console. So hopefully that's kind of leaning into the point. She said, reached a point where it'll be hard to imagine mass audience still being able to afford thousands of dollars for a new console generation. So hopefully that means she understands that that's not, financially a good thing for the console and gaming industry. But at the same time, just with the way technology is because of AI data centers buying up all the components needed for these consoles and stuff, and PCs as well, it's hard to see an avenue in which, okay, that's not going to happen, right? Because it's like there's math involved, and they do sell consoles at a loss a lot of the time. But for something we're going to go over here in a minute, I don't know if they can afford to sell a console at a loss right now with the state of their company. And I think the CEO, Asha Sharma, would, because I really do think she has, she's trying to think about what's best for Xbox as well as just what gamers want right now in order to gain the best word of mouth, because she's been doing a tremendous job at that lately. But I worry that the state of the world is at a point in which it doesn't care about how, morally righteous and, great the things you're doing are, because they have been doing great stuff. But I'm worried that is, with how bad it's gotten with the last regime of Xbox, I worry that that's going to be kind of a moot point for how, how she's doing the right things, the morally correct things is what it seems like. Not totally, because they're laying off a bunch of people, which I'll get into here in a minute, but it's an interesting crossroads. Everything is so expensive. The next console is going to be so expensive. For PlayStation, if it's really expensive and it doesn't have the PC capabilities that it seems like the next Xbox is going to have, why would I ever buy it? Especially with, some of the lackluster, exclusives they've put out lately, which would be the reason to buy it, right? And I'm not speaking about Wolverine or God of War Laufey. I think those two actually look good and would be reasons to get it, as well as Phantom Blade Zero. But just kind of some of the recent stuff they've came out with, not, delivering like we would like it to. Hopefully that Wolverine and God of War Laufey and Phantom Blade Zero are kind of the games to reinstate that patented, PlayStation exclusive, pedigree that they have. But only time will tell with that.
Sorry to interrupt, Josh, from the past, but before you move on from the console pricing segment, I just figured I'd add a little tidbit of information that came out right as, of course, you were making the video and unfortunately couldn't include in the video. What we're going to be looking at is the Steam Machine console pricing. I guess you can call it a console. It's more like a PC, especially with the way they priced it, because the base version, which does not come with a controller, mind you, is going to run you about $1,049 before taxes.
Oh my goodness!
Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. That's very expensive. And judging by most of the, specs we're seeing here, I don't want to speak out of my ass. I don't know everything about, PCs and stuff, but it seems like it's less powerful than a PlayStation or an Xbox, and they're charging you essentially double what the original retail price for both of those was, which is just so bad I can't see straight. But don't fret, okay? Because if you want a controller, it's going to cost you $1,128. That's only that's only like $100 extra for the controller, bro. That's kind of a steal when you think about it, bro. And both of these, of course, come with 512 gigabytes of storage, which is less than the base PS5 I bought for $550. And I understand we're in a different market right now, but come on, dude. 2 terabytes worth of storage version for the Steam machine is going to cost you $1,349 before tax. 2 terabytes with the controller, once again, is going to be about an extra $100 on top of that, which is just like, I know that a terabyte, especially if they're using an SSD, which it says they are, is more expensive than just $300. So why are you cutting cost in that area but not for just the base version of the console? That's kind of weird to me. But yeah, I just wanted to basically slot that in there and say that the Steam machine is not the savior that we thought it was going to be. It is in fact an overpriced mediocre PC that I'm sure not very many people are going to buy now. So I don't really know what they were thinking. I guess it's just their brand hardware so that they don't have to, so that they can get their fingers in that pie, I guess. So anyways, I'm tossing it back over to Josh from the past.
Another thing that's bad, co-op requirements for Halo CE. It seems like they're making you jump through hoops to play this shit, especially on split screen, which is just like, hey, dude, split screen should not be difficult. I should be able to pop on and do split screen in a cave with a box of scraps, dude. I should be able to play split screen with my eyes closed. You know, I should be able to set up a split screen game, but that's not what's happening here. Halo Campaign Evolved PS5 players will require an Xbox account and gamer tag to play, as well as PlayStation Plus to play split screen co-op. That's not good, dude. And I know maybe they're doing that to incentivize people to buy the, Xbox version of the game instead of the PlayStation one if they have the option. But I expected them to make you have a Microsoft account even if you played on PlayStation, because PlayStation's done that before to people with Helldivers 2, where they made them sign into a, Sony account in order to play it even on PC or Xbox. But I did not expect you have to have PlayStation Plus on both accounts to play split screen? Excuse me? What? I'm hoping that we're misunderstanding. Okay. Halo Waypoint blog has been updated to confirm a PlayStation Plus account is not required for split screen co-op. Thank goodness, because that would have been terrible, bro. But anyways, it's still kind of wacky, all the hoops they're making you jump through to play this game. It's like, especially because on PC, I kind of get it, set up a lot of stuff and get everything going. But the point of having a console, and especially for people who are buying, Halo for the first time, like a lot of people will be with Halo Campaign Evolved on their PlayStation, the making them jump through hoops and do a bunch of stuff is only gonna, make your product look worse and spread that negative word of mouth that Xbox really does not need right now. And I just think it's kind of dumb. And I hope that they kind of fix some of that stuff. We incorrectly stated that PlayStation Plus is required for local co-op split screen play. Local split screen co-op requires a PlayStation account for each player, but does not require a PlayStation Plus account. Even that is still like the days where you had the guest account. And granted, nobody wants to use the guest account. I'd rather sign into my account and level up on there and shit. But you should be able to just use a guest account if need be. Like, are we losing technology to the past at this point? Like, bro, that was simple. That's kind of annoying, but I hope that other than that, things go smoothly. Like I said, you can't use the Mark IV armor in the regular campaign, which is dumb. They're not making any more collector's editions, which is dumb. There's no theater mode, which is dumb, or a photo mode. Excuse me? That's in Lego Batman. That should be in Halo. You can't wear the Mark 4 armor. Stupid. The new weapon that Sergeant Johnson uses in the trailer is unavailable to use. Only he can use it. Why are you showing off a new weapon if I can't use it? I can't swap it with him? That's the thing in Halo. You swap weapons with your teammates in the campaign. And I can't use that new weapon, that badass, huge new weapon? I can't use it? Hopefully they're just trying to be like, oh, save it so that it's a surprise when you do get to use it. But, dude. If I customize my Spartan, will they show up in cutscenes with that armor? No, they won't. Why am I even getting that armor then in the first place? I understand that it's pre-rendered before, but still. Yeah, it's just, there was so much good with Halo, Campaign Evolved, and everything with the Xbox that it was bound to be a little bit worse over time, but it's just sad how much worse it is. And kind of moving into the last section is the ugly. Xbox is still kind of cooked. And the reason I say this is because they made this whole thing that's a next 100 days Xbox reset. And it's essentially going over their plan for, you know, kind of moving forward, their recommitment to exclusives within their company, and just kind of their, you know, their plan, what they want to do moving forward, and essentially just their mission statement. And she has stated that she wants to be the #1 gaming company by 2030. I don't know if that can happen, but I do appreciate that that is her viewpoint, because that's what I think is necessary. And I think that looking to be the #1 console on the market is good, because I think every other console right now couldn't give a flying rat's ass about the pride of being a great video game console. They just want to make money. So it's cool to see someone who just wants to create a great, you know, gaming experience and legacy and strive for greatness within video gaming, compared to just trying to make money, which is what 90% of people are doing right now. But they do need to do that too, because here it says, we will end this fiscal year at about 3% accountability margin down year over year, excluding Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, which essentially the accountability margin I had to look up is like a Microsoft, not a Microsoft specific thing, but they're one of the companies that really uses it. And it's essentially meaning, it's a term for profitability, meaning that for a 3% accountability margin, every $100 of revenue that they earn, only $3 of that is profit, which is not good. That's not good. And that kind of just goes to show that Xbox, we all thought it was bad. Go watch my video I made, because I called it. I said Xbox is dead or dying, and it is, and she's trying to resuscitate that hoe. Yeah, it's not looking good for them. Hopefully she can save it, and it's in a much worse spot than we even thought it was to begin with. We were just clowning on it, but turns out it's actually like on the brink of not being a thing. But anyways, they say we are in a hardware component crisis. We all, you know, we know this because of the AI data centers. When I joined in February, the price we paid for console storage components was over 2 times as high as we paid last fall. Thanks a lot, AI data center. Baby back bullshit. Costs have since doubled again. Thanks a lot, AI data center. Baby back bullshit. As we plan for the holiday season, we expect another significant increase, taking us over 5 times the price we paid only 2 years earlier. Memory costs have followed a broadly similar trajectory. While the entire industry is facing a components crisis, we believe that we have been impacted more greatly than many of our peers due to the choices we have made over the last half-decade. We are currently unable to make as many consoles as players want to buy, and we need a new business model and new partnerships for hardware as we remain committed to Helix. So, while that sounds terrible, I do appreciate that they're trying to restructure it in a new way that is maybe more advantageous for us, instead of just committing to charging more, you know, just in general. So, it sucks. and we all knew about the hardware component crisis. And I do at least appreciate that she's trying to think outside of the box in order to how to fix it. It's just it's a tough thing to fix because of how terrible things are right now. And I don't doubt that Xbox's previous leadership was completely incompetent and made it a lot worse than even it just in general is. So hopefully they can fix that. It's some more stuffs they add are kind of like there will be layoffs and stuff, which sucks. And it just further goes to the point of things are good, but they aren't that good. And Xbox is still in a really tough situation. And that kind of further cements my point from earlier, how I think it is smart that they are choosing to make Halo a not exclusive anymore. Because I think it is one of those games that can contribute to greater profits for them by expanding it to not being exclusive anymore, just because of how big of an IP it is. And I think it will also help Halo in turn become a bigger IP and get even more attention than it already does, seeing as it can be, that kind of money maker across platforms, first person shooter, live service. But let's not bring it up because I hope they don't really treat it so hard like a live service and just turn it into more of a online first person shooter that we need right now, because there aren't many great ones. There are some indie games that I'm sure are really good. I just haven't played yet, but in terms of AAA first-person shooters, we are in a drought, boy. We are looking like SpongeBob when he wanted that water. That's us, dude. That's us. But PlayStation kind of sucks, too, in our last part of the ugly, because new data shows Sony has been selling fewer and fewer copies of PlayStation exclusives since 2020. So it peaked in 2020, obviously, with the pandemic, and since then it's only declined from a rate of, over that 12-month period in 2020 to 2021, Sony sold 58.4 million copies of the games it published, whereas since then, in 2024 to 2025, so reaching a low of 28.9 million copies sold in 2024, before seeing a nice boost to 32 million in 2025, which ended March 2026. But still, that's almost half of what they did in 2020, which that's going to be a hard number to reach. I don't think that we should be so sucked into this capitalistic way of thinking where it's like we got to make sure our percentages improve every single year. There's some fluctuation there to be had, but it does point to this trend that at least in 2024 especially, they really dropped the ball. They seem to improve a little bit in 2025, but so far in 2026, it's yet to be seen what we have. And hopefully, once again, Wolverine, God of War, and Phantom Blade Zero kind of make up that deficit. But I like this because it's showing hard numbers of games they've produced and how they've lost sales on it, and that's a good point. It does show that they aren't doing as good as they should be and have done in the past. But there's also a disingenuous argument that people make where it's like, but what games are really exclusive to PlayStation? It's like they haven't really made any PlayStation exclusive games because God of War Ragnarok was on PC, and all these, really good games that they made that, are kind of the exceptions to the rule, with Spider-Man 2 as well. I think it was a good game. Maybe it's not a really good game, but I think it's a good game. I think it's really good, but I understand why people say it wouldn't be, but it kind of, and they make the arguments that, those are on PC too, so it's not actually a PlayStation exclusive. Hey, dude, when that happened, everybody was celebrating. And now they're taking them off PC because of other, reasons, but also because losers like you want to complain and make fun of them. Like, you're not releasing any exclusives. Well, that doesn't count because you put it on PC. It's like, okay, we're not going to put it on PC anymore. Oh, dude, what the hell, bro? I wanted to play the new God of War on PC. Like, dude, you guys suck. People who say that. Maybe y'all are nice people, but that opinion specifically sucks. And I hate when people say that because it's like, you're the reason that it's not on PC anymore. It was a good thing that those games were on PC. And now people don't get to enjoy those games anymore because you guys wanted to clown them for some shit that they did that was actually good. Clown them for this. Don't clown them for that. I can't stand that, bruh. I can't stand that, bruh. Hopefully this wasn't making a noise or I'm going to be pissed off. But yeah. So in conclusion, right. Things are better, but it's important to remember that just because things do look good on the surface, there are some things that still need to be worked out in the background. But the important thing is it seems like they are trying, at least. And I would argue that that's being spearheaded by Xbox trying the hardest, and PlayStation and Nintendo having to, keep up with that in a way. Not super, because they're not really threatened by them business-wise, but they want to keep up that good press, especially when Xbox is getting it, so that they don't look like they're falling behind and looking bad. So, anyways, might have dragged on a little bit, but I just wanted to cover everything so that you guys knew, got a refresher, or just heard me talk about something you've already been thinking about, and hopefully you agreed with me or disagreed with me, and then you can leave in the comments, whatever you're thinking. So please do. Let's have a discussion down there about all this. Like and subscribe if you liked it. New video coming out soon about Batman Beyond. And yeah, anyways, see you guys later.